Stay safe, reduce your contacts. Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1.
Good afternoon, I'm Sinead. Aherne. Today's top stories: the body of a man has been found near where two brothers were killed in North Cork. 7 people died from COVID-19 in Waterford last week. And in sports, Sam Bennett strikes again in the Middle East. The body of a third man has been found after 2 brothers were killed at a farm near Mitchelstown in Cork. It's believed he's the brother of the 2 men that were found dead last night, as Paul O'Donoghue reports.
Just after midnight, emergency services were first notified of the horrific incident near the quiet West Cork town. The alarm was raised when the daughter of one of the victims contacted Gardaí to say that her father had been killed. The suspect fled afterwards in a van belonging to one of the victims. This van has since been found abandoned at a church just northwest of Mitchelstown. Local councillor Frank O'Flynn says the community is in shock.
Talking to the people in the locality, they find it very hard to come to terms with. Complete shock in the whole area. This is something that you wouldn't expect to happen in an area like this. I know the family, I know the locality very well. So my thoughts and prayers are with the family at this very difficult time.
The body of a third man has now been found in a river located near the crime scene. Investigations are ongoing to recover and identify this body. Anyone with information on the incident is urged to contact Gardaí. Paul O'Donoghue in Cork.
7 people died from COVID-19 in Waterford last week. That's according to preliminary figures from the Central Statistics Office and covers the week ending last Friday, February 19th. 90 people have died due to COVID-19 since the outbreak began. 84 of those deaths happened since the start of this year. The median age of the people who died was 82. Almost 7 in 10 people are in favour of reopening society as soon as the elderly and vulnerable are vaccinated. However, NPHET has suggested that there are no guarantees that it'll be safe to do so. Casey O'Riordan reports.
The latest Irish Times Ipsos MRBI opinion poll shows that a zero-COVID approach is not supported by a large majority of respondents who say they want things to get back to normal once the elderly and vulnerable have been vaccinated. The HSE's Dr Colm Henry says it may not be as simple as we'd hoped.
Unfortunately, there are always some other worries on the horizon, not least the emergence of these variants.
His comments come as the new B.1.525 strain has been detected in Ireland for the first time. The polls show that the majority of people feel non-essential retail and services shouldn't reopen yet, but should be allowed to before the summer. However, when it comes to pubs and restaurants, the majority felt they should wait until after the summer. Garda Commissioner Drew Harris says suggestions that more and more frustrated business owners are starting to ignore restrictions isn't the experience of Gardaí.
We've made detections around businesses reopening, be it hairdressers or be it tanning salons or be it gyms. In terms of just the incidents that we are dealing with remain relatively isolated.
The poll also revealed that 8 out of 10 people would take the vaccine in the morning if given the opportunity.
Dungarvan was the only local electoral area in Waterford that saw an increase in the number of cases of COVID-19 last week. 58 cases were confirmed during the 2 weeks ending on Monday, February 22nd. That's up from 40 a week before. Waterford City South continues to have the highest level of the virus active in the community. There were 77 cases confirmed during that time to give an incidence rate of 342. The first winners of the 7th annual Waterford Business Awards are being announced this lunchtime. There are 12 gongs to be handed out in total. 10 category winners, an overall winner plus Entrepreneur of the Year, which has gone to Immersive VR Education. New Business of the Year has been named as East Seafood Bar Dungarvan. Marketing Excellence was won by Liberty Blue Estate Agents. Winners of the Technology and Innovation category are Nearform. The event is live now on Waterford Chamber's Facebook, website and YouTube pages. Opening the virtual ceremony, Mayor Damien Gagan and Chamber President Annette Connolly says it was important to recognise the positives after a particularly tough 2020.
We are here today to talk about innovation, leadership, determination, and the timing has never been more fitting. We have had a tumultuous start to 2021. And 2020 was certainly the most difficult we've faced in recent years.
While today is about recognising those that are shortlisted, in essence it is so much more. These awards show we can and we will succeed together as a business community.
The bad weather earlier this week has caused devastation in the Blackwater Valley. That's according to local councillor Declan Ducey, who says he fears for people's safety after a wall got washed away by the Red Bridge. He raised the issue at a local authority meeting yesterday. CEO Michael Walsh said they were aware of it.
We had serious flooding, in fact devastation in the Blackwater Valley yesterday. And There was some repair work done during the year there between the Red Bridge and the graveyard in Cappoquin. And there was further damage done yesterday and a wall washed away. That is something, there need to be a barrier put there urgently, because there's nothing at all now to stop a car being whipped into the flood.
The Dutch ambassador to Ireland is paying a virtual visit to Waterford today. Adrian Palm is meeting with TDs, the Chamber of Commerce and representatives from the port, among others. Speaking to WLR News, he says he's finding a lot of positive vibes from the visit.
What I notice is the positivity. The discussion on the Technical University of the South East is moving in the right direction, that you now have the money for the development of the quays, that there's progress in the hospital. Those are all kinds of things that bring positive vibes, and I'm very happy with that in that difficult time.
The Solace Cancer Support Centre is celebrating opening its doors 10 years ago today. One of the first clients of the centre was Lorraine Hurley from Waterford City, who was diagnosed with a rare type of bone cancer when she was just 14. Lorraine says the centre helped enormously with her recovery.
My recovery was a lot slower than I had expected it to be. So going to Solace and having treatments to help me heal and to help me to understand and cope with the reality of long-term issues and a slow recovery. Like, I still deal with pain and fatigue a lot, and going there really, really helped that be a lot more manageable. It helped it to be something that I could actually accept and learn to live with, rather than something that I felt I had to battle every day.
And finally, Freya, Amelia and Emily were the most popular baby names for girls in Waterford last year. The top spot for boys in Waterford City was shared between Alex, Jack and Liam. Jack was the most popular boy's name in County Waterford, and that's according to the CSO. These mothers say picking the right name can be difficult.
We always loved Leah, but I had originally wanted to call her Alana, but then Lana, the Thai restaurant, opened up in town literally the month she was born, so I just didn't feel like that name sat right, so then we went with Leah.
It is kind of hard with the pressure of everyone having different opinions on names, between my husband's opinion on names, the names that I like, family members putting in their 2 pence, and there is pressures.
Make the smart play with Virgin Media. Check out their smart home packages at Virgin Media, George's Street, Waterford.
Sponsors of the sports news on WLR.
A very good afternoon from the sports desk. I'm Nigel Kelly. We're going to start with cycling, where Sam Bennett has claimed victory on the penultimate stage of the UAE Tour, beating out former European champion Elia Viviani and former teammate Pascal Ackermann in the bunch sprint of stage 6. This is his second stage of the 7-day stage race, and Bennett said that his teammates played a huge part today.
Guys are really experienced, and yeah, the more sprints we do, the more it's becoming like second nature. We kind of know how to read each other. We almost know what the guy in front's thinking, and yeah, it's just really starting to click and really starting to run really smooth.
And the race concludes tomorrow at the Abu Dhabi Breakwater. Now moving to soccer, where the FAI's new CEO, Jonathan Hill, says controversy surrounding a motivational video that was shown to the Republic of Ireland squad before their friendly with England last year was a factor in Damien Duff's departure. The 41-year-old Duff stepped down as one of Stephen Kenny's assistants in January, 2 months on from Videogate. No reason for the decision was given at the time, and Hill, who was appointed to his role in October of last year, says the video was just one reason behind it. He also stood by the FAI's investigative process that some may have undermined Kenny.
In relation to Damien, it was just one of many things that we talked about, and it wasn't a single overriding issue for Damien. I felt that it was important for us to establish the facts, and it was simply a fact-finding process that I asked Gary Owens to support me with once we became aware of the issue at hand.
Staying with soccer and onto European affairs, where Man United will face Italian giants AC Milan in the last 16 of the Europa League. The tie will see striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic reunited with his former club. The 39-year-old has been with Serie A club side since December 2019 and previously played with United between 2016 and 18. While Arsenal will take on Greek side Olympiacos and Tottenham will face Dynamo Zagreb of Croatia. While the Scottish Premiership leaders Rangers have been drawn to play Slavia Prague, who knocked out Leicester last night. And the first legs will be played for all those games on 11th of March. While in rugby, Munster make the trip to Wales this evening to face the Cardiff Blues, where there's an 8 o'clock kick-off. Waterford's Jack O'Donoghue will lead at the side as captain, and the men in red top Conference B with a 9-point advantage over Connacht. And the defence coach JP Ferreira was happy to see his players' performance against Edinburgh last weekend.
I thought we had some good defensive sets. We had a 3-minute block there on the goal line, which we kept them out. And then obviously in the second half, those reset scrums and making the changes made a huge difference to us. And I mean, it's a massive gain for us when we on our own goal line defending and we get a turnover or we get a free kick. It just lifts everyone.
And all Munster fans will be happy to see the return of Joey Carberry this evening. He's expected to make an appearance off the bench. While in golf, Seamus Power is in the healthy side of the leaderboard, heading into the second round of the Puerto Rico Open on the PGA Tour. The West Waterford man handed in his card for a 3-under opening round. That was just 3 shots off the pace being set by the leader of the tournament. The WLR Sports Ray Scott says that with so many FedEx Cup points available for this tournament, it could prove vital for Seamus.
There's 300 FedEx Cup points on offer for the winner of this event. And the interesting thing is that 8 of the last 12 Puerto Rico Open winners made the tournament their first tour victory. So it'd be nice for Seamus if he could hang on there. Victor Hovland, who is the Norwegian golfer who won last year, he has gone on obviously to carve a nice career so far on the main tour as well. The signs are good. The first thing though is Seamus must get through to the weekend.
And he tees off today at 4 minutes to 4 Irish time. Sports news on WLR is thanks to Virgin Media Waterford.